Today on the Morning Edition, it's the first of six, but it's one that AFD is happy to have a brand new fire engine to help boost the equipment and capability of their firefighting. We'll take a closer look. Plus, the Anchorage School District revisiting the future of its STEM programs weeks after it announced the closure of Campbell STEM. We'll break down what was discussed at last night's school board meeting. And later, it's baby season. Baby reindeer are taking over the reindeer farms. We'll head out and see just how much work these little guys can cause as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. We've seen some baby moose right here in our own parking lot, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. Seeing them get up and kind of wobble around kind of makes us feel good on those days when we have like those moments where we just can't walk.
I know.
And we're like, even them, they can't walk sometimes.
It was so cute. And for like a couple weeks there, we had like the same family come around our station for a while.
Yeah, I wonder where they are. We love.
We haven't seen them in a while.
It's nice, just like, all of us out at the window just staring at them. And it's one of those things.
No matter how long you live in Alaska, I feel like it never gets old getting to see, especially the babies.
Yeah, and if you are out and about, you're seeing any of that wildlife, just make sure that you give them plenty of space. Of course, this morning we are watching some localized areas of snow and rain pushing across South Central. And like we were talking about yesterday, most of what we're going to see today and tomorrow will stay confined to coastal areas. But inland locations, we will see a brief opportunity for some light snow showers this morning with a chance we could see some wintry mix into the afternoon. But of course, our rain shadow will certainly keep us a lot drier for Anchorage and surrounding areas. 28 degrees is what we're currently sitting at in Anchorage. Across the rest of South Central, we've got those temperatures in the upper 20s and the lower 30s with the warm spot, both Valdez, Cordova, and Portage coming in sitting at 34 to 35 degrees. But we are going to see another day where those temperatures are easily going to climb into the 40s. The only difference in today is going to be the rain and snow that we'll see across South Central. And today is actually going to provide mostly cloudy to overcast skies for a good portion of South Central. Now, you can see snow as well as rain already spreading across parts of the region. Now, some of this likely not hitting the ground, but we will see that brief period this morning where we are going to hold on to some light snow showers. Out towards southwest Alaska, this is where we're also still holding on to those winter weather advisories that continue until 10 a.m. This morning. That also has been extended out towards parts of Bristol Bay, where we could see several inches of snow accumulation, and also notice some localized areas of freezing rain that can expect for parts of southwest Alaska. So 1 to 4 inches of snow for the Kuskokwim Delta coastline with gusts to 40 miles per hour. Out towards Bristol Bay, 4 to 8 inches of snow accumulation is expected. And again, we'll see a slight chance for some snow showers this morning for inland areas of South Central, but of course, most of the precip we'll see today and tomorrow will stay confined to coastal areas. So coming up in my full forecast, we'll be tracking that storm moving into South Central. We've also got areas of wintry mix for the interior and highs climbing into the 40s for many locations. I'll have those details coming up.
Today is the day, Election Day, so don't forget in-person voting is open at City Hall, Lusac Library, and the Eagle River Town Center from 7 to 8. You can also return your ballot by mail with a forever stamp or use one of 18 secure drop boxes around town. And if you have any questions on which candidates are running, which seats are up for election, or what any of the propositions are, you can read all about them with a full breakdown on our website. The Anchorage Fire Department christened a brand new fire truck Monday by ceremonially pushing it into the station. It's the first of 6, with 5 more expected to join the fleet over the next 60 days. Charlie Fellows was downtown, or rather above downtown, and shows us the new rig.
It's a brand new day for the Anchorage Fire Department. Monday's ceremony officially inducting the brand new truck number 1 into service, a much anticipated upgrade for the city's firefighters.
And gather around here, find a place that you can put your hands on this rig, and we are going to muster up all of our strength and push this, 88,000-pound truck into the station.
Out with the old, in with the new. AFD ceremonially rolling the new truck number 1 into the station to begin its firefighting career. A big upgrade in a few different ways, one of which you just saw.
So the key difference is this one has a platform at the end of the aerial. So when we extend the aerial 100 feet up into the air, it has a working platform that 2 or 3 firefighters can operate from. The truck that it's replacing did not have that.
It replaces the old truck number 1 after just 8 years of service, a shorter than normal stint, which allowed the department to recoup some of the cost.
What typically happens is when we replace one, it goes to auction, and it might get 2 or $3,000 or $4,000 for it, so they have virtually no value left. This one originally in 2016, I think is when we purchased it. Cost $1.1 million, and we sold it for $715,000. So we sold it for basically 2/3 of its original value, halfway through its frontline service life.
Schrage says this truck should be serving the community for 25 years to come. And this brand new day, one of many for the Anchorage Fire Department, anticipated in 2026, with more planned upgrades to the fleet in the coming months. Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
That's too high up for me. Well, it's the time of year drivers dread. Potholes are opening up all over Anchorage. Some streets are so rough it makes you question your car insurance deductible. However, municipal crews are out patching potholes around the clock. The city says it has between 2 and 4 crews working day and night, and more could be added once flooding concerns are under control. Crews say they try to respond within 24 hours after a pothole is reported.
They're horrendous. I mean, I about sure some people's suspension are going to go out on a lot of these roads. So, yeah, definitely a little bit of a mess this year.
Experts say potholes can keep popping up as temperatures warm, and it's still too soon to say if this will be an average breakup or worse than usual. Worse than a usual year. The city handles potholes on city streets, and the state, of course, handles potholes on state streets. Both want drivers to report them. Upgrades are coming to the utility that serves most of the interior. Experts warn that Golden Valley Electric Association won't be able to meet growing demand in the next 5 to 10 years without making changes. Alex Bengal spoke with the utility's CEO.
There are some times ahead that are going to be tight.
GVEA CEO Travis Millian saying costs for utilities in Fairbanks will likely go up in the coming years as the utility invests in deferred maintenance and expanding its infrastructure.
We're just seeing that there are weaknesses within our system that need to be addressed in order to maintain reliability for today and into the future.
Demand expected to grow over the next 5 to 10 years as the mining industry and the military in the interior continue to expand. But the system is already working at capacity with little room for equipment to malfunction.
With our current generation mix that we have, we would not be able to meet the future load growth looking out, 5 to 10 years from now.
To meet the growing demand, the utility plans to invest in deferred maintenance and maybe install a new gas turbine unit, with the costs eventually passed down to the consumers.
There is going to be additional costs. As we are investing into our system, those costs are going to have to be borrowed and eventually paid back by our membership.
Millian was unable to say how much these increases would be, but said they would likely be spread over 10 to 20 years and may be helped by the increased efficiency coming from the improved system. He estimates the extra costs will hit members' bills in 4 or 5 years at the earliest. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
Campbell STEM families and educators continue to push back weeks after the Anchorage School Board voted to close it. The superintendent was at the board meeting last night with plans for what's next, saying the district plans to move Campbell STEM's accreditation to Clatt Elementary next school year. He says families who want to follow the program would be surveyed, adding that the district will pause any recommendation for additional school closures next year while it puts together a long-range strategy. During public testimony, Campbell parents and staff said moving a program on paper doesn't mean a community necessarily moves with it.
So STEM programming, despite many of the concerns that I've heard in the community, will not disappear in ASD. In fact, despite the structural deficit, despite the many headwinds that we face as a community, we can and we will continue to expand STEM.
ASD continues to say that the STEM program can simply be moved. That is not how successful programs work. You cannot just move a program.
The district says the goal is to keep the STEM program in place as the building closes. Families say they want more clarity on staffing, resources, and what the transition means for students next fall. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, just a few short years ago, one skydiver was told he would never jump again. But perseverance paid off, and rather than closing the book, it merely turned the page to a new chapter, which led to a truly unique jump. We'll share his story next.
And still holding on to some localized areas of rain and snow across South Central with the heaviest activity near the coast. We'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, 7:02 in Anchorage, 6:44 in Fairbanks. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in. 13 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning. And look at that, Aaron. We're starting to see it's getting a little bit brighter at this hour, this time of year.
Yeah, it looks like we possibly have some light snow showers as well in some of those higher elevations. Those cloud deck continuing to lower as well. As you get out on those roadways this morning, just be mindful you could encounter a thin film of ice on those roadways as those temperatures have been dropping through the night, as well as that chance for some light snow showers this morning. Temperatures coming in at 28 degrees in Anchorage, 30 in Bethel, 13 degrees in Fairbanks, while we are still holding on to some of those cold conditions as you head along the slope. We're at 14 below in Utqiagvik, Dead Horse coming in at 18 below. Now, while cold conditions remain for areas north of the Brooks Range, beyond Thursday, we will begin to see those temperatures warm for the slope region. The rest of the state already beginning to tap into those temperatures warming well into the 30s and the 40s. This is the area of low pressure we're going to be watching throughout the day. That's going to continue to lead to more rain and snow pushing across the Gulf Coast region. Now, the key takeaways for today and into tomorrow. If you live near the coast, you're going to see persistent rain and some wintry mix is going to stick around throughout the remainder of today and into your Wednesday. For inland areas of South Central, and this does include Anchorage and western parts of the region, we'll just see some brief periods of some wintry mix sticking around throughout the day, with the best shot for some snow occurring this morning with those temperatures sitting below freezing. We've also got that ongoing snow for southwest, where we're also seeing some localized areas, some rain, snow mixing in, possibly even some freezing rain out towards Kipnuk. You can see this is coming in from the FFA weather cams. Gusty conditions leading to some blowing snow. Parts of southwest Alaska could see those winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. Now, as the system builds into South Central, winds will not be an issue for many areas, but we will see that increasing precip primarily for coastal areas. You can see those winds have been gusting with this area of low pressure anywhere from about 25 to 45 miles per hour. And of course, Cold Bay north towards Kipnuk, seeing some of those gustier conditions as we start off your Tuesday morning. Now, when it comes to the rest of today on into the next couple of days, notice again, coastal areas will see that better chance for some rain. Inland locations will just see brief periods of some rain snow mix that will stay with us. Now, when it comes to the snow, we'll likely see this stay with us through mid-morning, if not early afternoon for parts of South Central. That will bring us a dusting to about half an inch across western parts of the region. Kenai down towards Homer may actually see half an inch to about an inch of snow fall. But if you live from Anchorage north into the valley, we may just see some flurries to about a trace or a dusting amount. And then you can see heavier amounts as you head through Turnagain Pass and, of course, higher elevations of the Chugach Range and through the Copper River Basin. But, of course, most of the precip that's going to fall will come in the form of rain, which will occur for coastal areas as we head through the rest of today on into our Wednesday. And then you can really see where we're going to begin to see some of that heavier activity from Whittier out towards Seward and parts of Prince William Sound, where we can see over an inch of rain accumulation. Now, keep in mind, western parts, we will see more in the way of a rain-snow mix, but any rain that mixes in with that snow and that melting snow will continue to lead to some slick conditions across South Central. So just be mindful of that. We'll see temperatures today warming into the 30s and the 40s. And again, the key takeaways, heaviest activity will stay confined to coast, inland areas, Kristen, specifically for Anchorage and into the valley. We may just see some brief periods of some rain and snow, but largely on the dry side for us, thanks to our downsloping winds.
All right, thanks, Aaron. A world's first over Palmer's night sky under the northern lights. But the story behind this jump is just as extraordinary as the video you're about to see. Danny Tompkins spoke with the two men who turned a life-changing setback into a history-making flight.
Darkness engulfs the sky. The wind cuts at 40 below, and two men are about to jump.
It was pretty much the coldest temperatures that I ever jumped in. Minus 40 at altitude.
This story starts in Juneau, Alaska, where as a teenager, John DeVore looked up at the sky and never looked down.
My very first jump was in Juneau, and that's when the addiction set in, and I realized I wanted to do that with my life.
For the next 3 decades, he lived in the sky.
I just couldn't be happier right now.
Until the year 2021, when everything came crashing down.
I had a really bad crash. Completely severed my spine in half, open book pelvic fracture, the list goes on. Was told I'd never walk again, definitely never skydive again.
For most, that would be the end of the story. For DeVore, it was a new chapter.
It was a better state of mind for me to be in a, I'm going to prove them wrong instead of accept what I'm being told.
His teammate Jeff Provenzano had his own mission: skydive in all 50 states. Alaska was the last one, and he wasn't going without DeVore.
Whether I went there as just ground support and encouraged him jumping, or if a miracle happened and I was able to jump with him. But as miracles go, it happened.
So there they were, above Palmer, Alaska, together.
That jump, I actually had a moment where I could truly take a second to look at what was going on and appreciate it. And it was definitely a wow moment.
A world's first. 2 men wingsuiting through Alaska's Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, bro. That was it.
For Provenzano, Alaska left a mark.
Alaska was truly the last frontier for me.
From the man who was told the sky was no longer his, a message about who you keep around you.
Surrounding yourself with the right group of people is very important. Even if you don't achieve the summit, sometimes just getting halfway to it is more than you're being told you could do.
For DeVore, halfway wasn't even close.
Yeah, Johnny. That was funny. Woo! Doesn't get better than that.
Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.